Mr. McD and Oliver here. So, since we are going to pretend it's the last day of winter, because we're not really sure if it's the first day of spring or the last day of winter, we're going to pretend it's the last day of winter, and we're going to read Learning to Ski with Mr. McGee, which, remember, we read Camping with Mr. McGee earlier in the year, and we're going to change it to Mr. McD because it's so close and funny. It's by Chris Van Dusen. Learning to Ski with Mr. McD. And Oliver and I are all ready to end winter, even though we didn't get any snow. One winter morning at 6:53, Mr. McD and his little dog Gee woke to fresh snow and a beautiful sky and decided it's time to give skiing a try. Oh my goodness. You know they always get in a little trouble. Before we drive all the way up to Mount Snow, follow me, Gee. I know right where to go. Across from the house and just up the way is a great little hill with a view of the bay. We'll practice up there till we learn how to ski. Then we'll head for the mountain, said Mr. McD. He's got a little dog just like I do. A few minutes later, they came to a spot where nothing could get in their way, McD thought. So he put on his skis, Gee hopped in the pack, and with poles in his hands and his dog on his back, he inched to the edge very slowly until his skis teeter-tottered, then started downhill. Oh no! Now far down the hillside from Mr. McD and just out of sight, there happened to be a curious moose. He was out on a search for the succulent sticks of the great northern birch. Then he spotted a tree, the biggest he'd seen, on the opposite side of the gaping ravine. We have some pictures of the moose in the classroom, don't we? Love the outdoors in our classroom. The moose turned around, and what did he see? Mr. McD and his little dog Gee. The moose was so shocked he stood frozen in fear, but Mr. McD hadn't learned how to steer. Steer means how to move around. And he knew very soon that they were going to collide, so he called to the moose, "Would you please step aside?" Do you think he stepped aside? I don't know what's going to happen. But the moose didn't move, so McD yelled, "Duck!" And that was the moment they ran out of luck. Because while they were sliding right under the moose, the tips of the skis snagged the log of a spruce. Uh-oh. What's going to happen? In a flash and a flip, they flew over the log, tossing poor Mr. McD and his dog head over heels straight into the gap. Oh no. When the ends of the skis came down with a slap, so there they were, stranded, McD and his pup, across a ravine 100 feet up. Oh my goodness, could you imagine being 100 feet up? How scary. All right, Oliver's going to go take a little nap. They hung there suspended, not making a sound. When the moose came back, he looked all around. He didn't see Gee or Mr. McD, but what's this? A bridge to the birch above the abyss. Oh my goodness, silly moose. He thinks it's a bridge. The moose took a step. He was steady and slow, but his weight caused the skis to sag and to bow. And when he looked down, his heart skipped a beat, for Mr. McD was right under his feet. Oh my goodness. That is a silly moose. Remember the bear in the last book? With a snort, the moose leapt. The skis went spring. They popped in the air with a zip and a zing, and up like a rocket they shot Guy and McD, landing feet first, just as safe as can be. Oh, thank goodness. Whew. Well, that was exciting, said Mr. McD, but I'm not really sure we learned how to ski. I think that I might need a lesson or two. I think that perhaps it's the best thing to do, and when we get home, he said with a smile. Oh, I almost forgot to show you the picture. We'll let someone else use the skis for a while. Lucky snowman. All right, happy last day of winter. I hope you enjoyed that. Oliver took a little nap. See you soon. Bye.